Hi, wellness friends. Welcome back to the Wellness Inspired Podcast, a place where you can find inspiration, motivation, and empowerment in the pursuit of a wellness lifestyle. I'm your host, Sherry Davidson. I'm a wellness coach and acupuncturist in Houston, Texas, and I am deeply passionate about health and well-being. And as always, I am here with my co-host, Finn. And if you're new to the podcast, Finn is my terrier mixed rescue dog, trail runner, and loyal companion. He is also a therapy dog and greeter at Element 5 Acupuncture and Wellness. Today, we have an exciting episode for you. Have you ever wondered how menopause impacts a woman's health, athletic performance, and well-being? I sat down with Istra Bauza to discuss this life transition's effect on women athletes. Istra is a triathlon coach, PT2 lifestyle coach, USMS Swim Coach, and she's also a clinical mental health counselor in training, Ironman triathlete, and a mother. And with her wealth of experience and personal anecdotes, Istra provides a fresh perspective on navigating menopause and its challenges, from handling physical symptoms to dealing with the psychological barriers that hinder lifestyle changes. In our conversation, Istra touches on the importance of self-awareness, self-compassion, and stress management. We also discuss the impacts of menopause on weight gain and explore the role of sleep, strength training, and nutrition in managing these transitions. Istra emphasizes the power of self-care and the need to prioritize our needs during this transformative phase in a woman's life. What stood out the most to me after this conversation was that this phase impacts every part of your life. It's not just about the physical and emotional signs and symptoms like night sweats, frequent and urgent urination, hot flashes, anxiety, depression, and stress. I see these symptoms frequently in the clinic, and acupuncture and Eastern medicine can manage these symptoms quite effectively. However, I did not connect how influential this phase is to the overall mindset. And I think this is incredibly important when you're trying to accomplish goals, big or small, career or sports. This phase can be transformative, but awareness is the first step. So whether you're an athlete or just interested in understanding more about this phase of life, this episode is filled with valuable insights and practical tools. So remember, you're not alone in this. And with the right strategies and mindset, you can navigate menopause with grace, grit, and resilience. Before we move forward, I just want to mention one thing. I am planning a European wellness riverboat cruise in 2024. My friend Tammy Hiroka is a travel concierge and friend. She's been on the podcast. We talked about wellness travel, but she's helping me plan this adventure. I have yet to commit to a river, but I'm thinking of a 7-night cruise on the Danube River. We will cruise through Austria, Germany, Hungary, and Slovakia. There will be active sightseeing, so hiking, biking, maybe some running if I can get that in there. There will also be yoga, wellness talks, relaxing, and locally sourced cuisine. So stay tuned for more details. I've already have many people interested, and I have yet to do any marketing except for here. So get ready to grab your spot. All right. Are you ready to embrace this transition in life with grace and grit? Well, let's go. I introduce you to Istra. Hi, Istra. Welcome back to the podcast. Last time you were on, I don't remember what episode that was, but we talked about sports. We talked about women in sports.
Yes. Hi. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah.
It's an honor to be here.
Yeah. Well, you're also a friend. And today we are still on the subject of women and athletes, but we're going to be talking more about older athletes and menopause.
Yes.
And I think this couldn't be more timely because it is in the forefront of people's minds right now. I see on TV, I see there's a drug company that advertised for hot flashes. Yes. There's all kinds of articles coming out about women in menopause. The Wall Street Journal put out an article saying, what if we could get rid of menopause this past weekend that I read. The New York Times Magazine came out with an article called Women Have Been Misled About Menopause. So there's a lot of talk going on about menopause. So it's very timely that you're here and we're going to be talking about it. So tell people who you are and your story.
Thank you. And yes, I agree that menopause has become a product, a big, lucrative product, and you'll see it if you listen to Spotify, if you're watching movies, if you're watching shows, if you're listening to music, you're always going to be targeted to see that here we have the solution for you. So yes. So we're gonna
everyone has a solution, right?
Yes. So we're going to address some of these things. But first, let me just introduce myself. Thank you for having me. I'm Istra Bauza. I am a counselor intern at 2 universities. I'm finishing a master's in clinical mental health counseling. But before that, I am also a triathlon coach and triathlete, and now doing a lot more cycling these days.
You're doing more like trail.
Yeah, dirt. I'm doing a lot of like off-road.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, off-road gravel riding and mountain biking. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that, my love for that. But yeah, basically my goal in working with some of the clients and some of the athletes that I work with is help them develop lifestyle modifications as they enter, because I work primarily with women. I would say like 75% to 80% of my clients are women. Mm-hmm. And I like to help them. I've been helping them for about 7 years with coaching, multi-sport coaching, running, swimming, biking, writing training plans. But now I started seeing a lot more of the mental health issues and struggles that women face. So I decided to try to combine these two disciplines.
Mm. So what's the average age that you're coaching?
So the average age, generally it's 40 and up.
Yeah.
It's 40, 30, late 30s, all the way to late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah. Are they mostly triathletes?
A lot of them are triathletes, and a lot of them used to exercise and now they're not exercising. So you find that they're lacking motivation to go back to establish a regimen after they have entered, either perimenopause or menopause. Mm-hmm.
So these are women that you've been coaching, and you coached them when they were active, and then they started going through the transition and they became more inactive. Is that?
Yeah. So I have that, and I also have women that are simply, they said, yeah, I used to do 5Ks. I used to do running. I used to run half marathons. And now I'm coming back because I just lost, or I'm in the process of losing weight, or had gastric bypass, or the sleeve, what they call the sleeve, which is weight loss surgery. So some of these women come with all sorts of issues, but primarily the theme and the main issues that they come with typically is that they're dealing with a lot of symptoms. I'm saying, when I say symptoms, I say biopsychosocial, everything
anxiety,
there, anxiety, depression,
hot flashes, night sweats, not sleeping, or sleeping. That's a big one, especially when you're training.
The sleeping, which is like my top
me
on the
too.
list. So these women come with, yes, I want to immediately they come to you saying the immediate things like, I want to lose weight. And I always say, okay, let's go back and see where you are at in all these other areas. The weight will come off, generally speaking, when you address lifestyle issues, lifestyle, the whole holistic spectrum of lifestyle interventions that you do with clients. I'm saying holistic areas such as sleep, like you mentioned, it's huge, nutrition, exercise, relationships, social supports. We're talking about the whole holistic and the whole area within a woman's life. And the mental health aspect, before entering this degree in working with women in mental health, I never really gave too much thought as to how impactful it is to have, some sort of clarity when you're training, some sort of, support system at home where you're feeling like you have some safety, some predictability in your life, and how these things affect and how they become pronounced and more become more challenges during menopause.
Yeah. Give us an example of an athlete that you've recently worked with. Take us through that process of how they they came to you and said, like, I used to work out and I don't work out anymore. I'd like to gain that motivation back. I would like to sign up for like a sprint triathlon. So what is your process going through that?
So yes.
And I know everybody's different. But
everybody's different. And that's something very important to remember, that as you enter this stage of life, the way everything manifests is very unique to everyone. So I have a client that she's no longer competing, but at the time that I was training her, she came to me because she's in the Northeast, and she used to run marathons, and in her mid-30s, early 30s. And at the time she approached me, she's in her early 40s. She has 3 children. She works part-time as a marketing assistant. She also is a part-time comedian.
Fun.
Yes, she was super busy. She also suffers from anxiety, perfectionism, and also was on medication for ADHD. She came to me with all these things, and her goal was she wanted to do a triathlon, and she wanted to ultimately to lose weight.
That was her reason.
That was her reason to come to me. Like, I've heard
the motivation.
I've heard that you train athletes or clients to complete these races. Here I am. I want to complete one. So we started looking at her lifestyle and how she manages her day. Of course, there's factors there, that have to do with ADHD and like organization, structuring your day, things like that. We worked a little bit with that, and in trying to incorporate exercise, strength training into her day because she was extremely busy. We started like that, kind of like looking, okay, so what can you do? We didn't start with like, the usual training plan. Okay, this is 8 weeks, or she was doing a sprint try and then she did an Olympic. We did not use the regular approach. Like, I'm just going to write this plan for a woman, trying to complete a sprint. I actually went with her and explored, what can you do?
Yeah.
What time do you have? These are the goals. So we started working with the space she had. And that basically progressed into her to the point that sometimes she couldn't train, and she would like have to skip weeks because she had like comedy shows and things. She was traveling. She'll be really happy that I'm talking about her here.
We don't know her name.
Yeah. I'm not going to say her name, but yes, but she was a great client. And then ultimately she competed and finished the race. Then we were working with something that I always like athletes to do. We do a race recap, and and not only just to inform the world of what you did, also to do a little bit of, reviewing your progress, reflection
on what you just did, because so many people do those things and they're on to the next race.
Exactly. So a little bit of taking time to reflect on what happened, what were the lessons learned, and how to move forward. And she made that list. She did it, and then we moved forward, and she completed another one. She was very proud of herself, and this helped her gain competence, and it builds a little bit your resilience.
Yeah.
You feel better about yourself.
Did she lose the weight?
She lost some weight. But of course, it wasn't enough for her. She's like, well, yeah, I understand. I'm glad that I lost weight, but I want to lose more weight. So, but that's the goal wasn't, her goal was lose weight. For me, in my head, I was thinking she needs to establish a pattern of a habit, establish a habit, and kind of continue on, even if she's not training for triathlon, so she can build a real habit that sticks. Yeah,
because that's the consistency is what gets you where you want to go. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
And everybody could, even me, to build better habits, right?
Yes. Everyone can definitely form habits, and sometimes you do surprise yourself.
Yeah. So she was in her 40s, and was she going through any kind of menopausal phase when she came to you?
Yeah, so she was not aware, or maybe she did not share those things with me, but I know she had like a lot of anxiety. She was, of course, on medication for various things. And then that's something we had to address during training, before the race, and after the race.
Yeah.
She had some issues with supports at home, for example. So we explore some of the things like who helps you, who takes your bike, where you buy it, where you get it. Also, I mean, she was a beginner triathlete. We have to sort of, allow her, help her to find resources as to other groups of people. Like they're doing open water swims. She was terrified of it. Then she did it, and she was very happy that with her performance. But at the beginning, she was terrified of it, and so that was all these things were creating an increase in anxiety. Anxiety was already there, but the fear factor during menopause is, has the potential to increase.
Yes,
and this is a very specific area of menopause.
Yeah,
that if you come from with an anxiety. Let's say you have anxiety or you have a diagnosis. This is it's gonna grow up and during this stage.
It's interesting in Chinese medicine. We say in a very simplistic way, we call menopause a yin deficiency. And when you're having hot flashes and night sweats, we'll say it's a yin deficiency with a deficient heat. But it's all related to the kidneys. And the kidneys in 5-element theory is the emotion related to that is fear.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, right? Like if you're having this yin deficiency, and then sometimes I know at night, I'm getting older, and I'll wake up at night and I have like these really crazy like thoughts, like they're fearful thoughts, but nothing that like I can go back to sleep, but I'm like, man, I don't think this way during the day. Yeah. So it's real interesting to observe that, and being a Chinese medicine practitioner, because it is the yin time, right? It's night, and it's I'm probably doing this in the kidney time as well. So I just find that really interesting that you brought that up. Yeah.
Fascinating stuff. Yeah. So fear, it's a reality for entering this stage also, because we know that estrogen has modulates the chemistry in our brain, and we have to look for other alternatives to finding, the lack of estrogen impacts our receptors, our receptors in the brain, and all these things that used to cause anxiety, now they become a little more pronounced. So in her case, yes, she was experiencing more fear and she became more hesitant as well. So we worked a little bit with not throwing ourselves into it, but basically exploring that too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Which I think is really cool, because a lot of the times it's the attitude, like you're getting in there and working with that, right? Where a lot of the times it's just jump in and do it. Exactly. Just jump in. You'll get over your fear. Just do it.
Yep.
Right? So I like your approach, because it's like, well, maybe it's not about just jumping in. Yeah. And dealing with your fear. Maybe there's something to be discovered there, and something that you need to work on to get to that root cause of why that fear is there in the first place. I mean, obviously everybody has fears of getting kicked in the face and during a swim, which most of the people I know at some point were scared of that.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning.
Yeah. So you're absolutely right. I, even in my own experience in the last couple of years, like not couple of years, when I was racing more in like 2018 and 2019, I started noticing that I would be more fearful of open water and getting a little panicky more than usual. I also started like overthinking during racing, which has never happened before. I was like, okay, so what if I have to use the restroom here and then I can't? All these questions in my head became overly cautious. And as soon as I started doing the off-road stuff, like mountain biking, gravel racing, there were times where I was like not allowing myself to go out the door, because I was thinking, well, what if I fall? It's slippery, if it's muddy. So I became a more cautious athlete because of this basically menopausal onset of anxiety and fear that is more obvious now. So yeah, it manifested in the last few pretty busy seasons I had.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah.
Yes. It's hard for me. I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty self-aware person, and I'm kind of constantly monitoring myself. But I think that sometimes it gets hard, because I'm like that with cycling. like road cycling. I used to love it. And I love going fast, but I have gotten to a space in the past couple of years where, especially riding out in the woodlands, like there were so many people and so many close causes that if you wreck on a bike, there's a good chance you're going to be out for a while.
Yeah.
And so I've started
self-preservation. You become more
yeah. Like it's like, I know it's kind of like cost benefit. Like,
right.
Is it worth, do I love it that much, you know, to get out there and to risk that, you know? So I don't know if that's more it, or if it's more of a entering, and maybe it's all kind of intertwined and all one thing, but I definitely have become more cautious of that.
It's funny that you say cost benefit analysis, because we do that with my clients. I do that with my clients, especially when it comes to facing fear or facing challenges, you know, getting sick during a season, or having setbacks. Yeah. So we do a cost benefit analysis, and it always produces something positive out of it. And it's something I highly recommend people do. And this is something you're going to find yourself, if you haven't started doing it, you're going to find yourself, you know, finding the benefit from doing it during this time. Like, for example, this athlete was considering doing a second race, and she was like getting a little fearful. And we sat down and we talked about, okay, so what are the benefits? What are the costs? You know, and she ended up racing again with less fear, because she made the right choice. Yeah. Versus just going on a prescribed what society is telling us to do and what the coach is telling us to do sometimes. Yeah. We have to really, this is the time for, you know, really stopping and reflecting. Physically, mentally, like you say, doing a body scan, that type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that cost benefit. You know, when I did Comrades in South Africa, I got sick on the plane on the way over there. And I started that race with a fever. And I went 45 miles and then I stopped because I was having a lot of stomach issues and vomiting. So I stopped, but it was almost like I had PTSD from that, because anytime I travel now to do a race, I go through this, like, because I'm an acupuncturist, so I see people, and I see people up to the day up to the day before I leave.
Right.
So I have to do that cost benefit. You know, it's kind of like, well, I could not go. Would I be happy? Like, I have herbs. I could wear a mask. You know, there's a lot of things I can do. So I have to like talk myself through it every single time.
Yeah. And it really, it's a great tool.
It's a great tool. Yeah.
Yeah. And the question for you would be like, would you have done it differently if it would have been right now, you going to Comrades, getting sick?
What would I do differently?
Yeah.
Oh, I would wear a mask. I would take all my herbs. I would, I don't know. But, and then at some point it's like, well, that's just part of it's part of it. You can't choose what kind of weather you get during a race. Right. And it's just part of being an athlete too.
Yeah. I think you mentioned a couple of really good things, points that it's, we're sturdy, and we've done a lot of sort of facing our fears through, you know, endurance training and endurance, athletics. And when you really say no, or you tell yourself you can't, it really means it now. Like before, it's like, oh, I'm not sure. Like, no, you know what? I know. It's like when you quit a race. Like, for example, this year I had one DNF, one deferral. Not this year. Last year I had one deferral and one DNF. Both in the same year. I had never experienced that before. And I realized I don't regret any of those two, because it was the right call. Yeah. And that would not have been the case 8 years ago. Yeah.
What do you think would have been different 8 years ago?
I could push through what we were talking about earlier today. Yeah. I could had the motivation to push through. And now it's like the cost benefit analysis. You go like, you know what? 4 hours in the sun. 4 hours in the sun, getting cramped afterwards, possibly GI issues. Maybe not. Not this time. So.
That's what happened in the Azores. I was like, if I climb 10 miles of stairs, I might be out for, who knows, it could be 6 months I'm out. I'm like, I'd rather just keep moving.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a great example.
Yeah.
making that decision to how much do I really want to be completely out, or do I want to continue to be active? And then you have to take a few steps back in your journey.
Where if I was younger, I might have pushed through that and been, injured for.
I'm sure you would have.
So is that part of menopause? Like, is that perimenopausal? Is that mindset that you get?
That mindset.
Self-preservation?
Self-preservation. It's like, because ultimately perimenopause and menopause is a time for gaining, losses and gains.
So speak a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So, the gains, the losses, everybody knows about the losses. I'm just going to go over a little bit. We know we have real biological challenges, night sweats, hot flashes. Some people get them really bad for many years.
Yeah.
Mood, injuries, a lot more injuries during this phase. Self-esteem. Sometimes even if you have stuff like body image issues, you enter the stage and all these things come back with a vengeance, I would say. But there are some major gains, and one of them is precisely what we're talking about. It's, the ability to discern when things are good for you or not good for you. Yeah. Putting things in a balance. It's like, is it worth my time? Is it worth the effort? What are going to be the rewards of these behaviors? Yeah. So self-preservation, it's a good thing for us at this age.
I like that. Sure. I've never really looked at it that way. So I appreciate that perspective. Yeah. If I think about myself compared to some of my younger friends that are running, like they're pushing the boundaries, right? Yeah. They're pushing and they're doing great. There's a lot of injuries that are coming along with that, but the reward for them is the accomplishment of these huge races. For me, it's like, is it really? Like, it's super cool, but it's as I've gotten older, that's not how I used to be. So I appreciate that perspective.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, you brought the example. I think it's interesting that we were talking about a little earlier, and you just mentioned all these things, and it's like, oh yeah, absolutely, all that. Yes. So so there are the real side of menopause and perimenopause, at least from my personal perspective, because I know there's the science, there's research, but I want to say that out of everything that I've read in the area of mental health and in menopause in general, we're still breaking ground ourselves with what we're doing. I go to my doctor, to my my gynecologist, and she doesn't answer my questions. I have a long list of questions. We're still facing misinformation. We're still facing medicalization of the only thing we know is the medical side of menopause, the biological effects. The other stuff is just starting to come out. Yeah, the research is just starting to come out. We are doing the experiment, you and me. Yeah. So I believe that. I saw my gynecologist last Monday, and we had I had a lot of questions too. For me, it's like, they're like, oh, you should gain anywhere between 15 to 20 pounds. It's like, that's normal. It's like, okay, well, is that really normal? Is it? Like I was asking her, how can we push the boundaries of, don't just tell me I'm supposed to, go 4 dress sizes up, because that's not going to be okay with me. Okay, acceptance. We talked about acceptance. Yeah, acceptance. But I guess my point is like, what is normal? I don't know if I believe we're supposed to gain 20 to 30 pounds and that's okay. Yeah. I'm not sure I believe that. She told me, she goes, Sherry, we really don't know. That's what she told me. Yeah. She goes, we really don't know. Yeah. So just to add to your comment, that it's true. We're just starting to understand. Yeah, we're just on the surface. Women, we're facing stereotypes, bias, society expectations of women aging. It's all over, everywhere around us. Yeah. Women get old and they should step back and cut their hair or whatever. Stop exercising and now we're starting to see, Dr. Stacy Sims and all her research and all these there's a couple of people locally here. Really? Yeah, that are also focusing on menopause and for active women.
Yeah.
But there's not a whole lot of information out there. So the research starting, and now we know that no, it's not a time to stop what you're doing. It's a time to start adding important interventions.
Yeah.
This is the time of your life where it's the perfect time to make important adaptations to the way you exercise, the way you eat, the way you live, the way you self-care. It's a super important window.
Yeah.
For longevity, basically.
So what are some suggestions that you would give someone to live with the changes, right? Like you just said, reflecting on your lifestyle, your diet, your activity, what would be some general kind of universal suggestions?
So, okay. So first, we mentioned this earlier, but I would say my number one is sleep.
Yeah.
A lot of people they underestimate how important sleep is, and the fact that because we're not producing, or our hormones are fluctuating, progesterone and estrogen, going, up and down during perimenopause and eventually, decreasing. The impact that has on our brains and our ability to, have the rest. Even when we're sleeping, we don't rest.
Yeah.
So the important deep sleep that we need, we're not getting.
Yeah.
So.
And that interferes with recovery if you're racing.
Interferes with recovering. You're getting more prone to injury, but also, how do you combat that? How do you work with that? Well, you have to be very intentional about your sleep hygiene.
Yes.
At night, what you eat before going to bed, how active you are during the day, and all kinds of interventions you can implement. Some of my clients on the clinical side of mental health use everything from, for example, in the morning, someone that has not slept well, like will do like face dunks. She would like dunk her face in an ice bucket or an ice sort of, bowl or something to basically wake up.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. And then also, this is from Dr. Stacy Sims' research. Drinking tart cherry juice at night before going to sleep.
I know it helps with inflammation.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that she writes about in her research.
I didn't know it helped with sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, there's many others, but there's other things such as like no electronics after a certain period of time. Really completely turning off everything that you do electronically, computer, phone and things like that. But I mean, it's like you could try, and what we do with clients is we try different things, and everything that you do, everything doesn't work for everybody. So you will like test out different things unless you have like sleep apnea or something else, like some other major condition, which is a whole different thing. But if you're having issues with sleep, I would suggest that will be the first part, the first area
sleep
that
hygiene.
Start looking into your sleep patterns. Get the apps.
Yeah.
Get the little ring.
Yeah.
Try to investigate how you're sleeping, because that's
so what I run into in the clinic is people are practicing great sleep hygiene, but because of the hormones, they're still not sleeping. I'll have they're frustrated. They'll come in here and it's like, I've done it all, Sherry. I've done everything. Because I think that's a great place to start too.
Right.
So what happens when someone comes in and says, you know what, I'm doing all of these things, but I still am waking up at night?
Yep. Yeah. So there's so much a regular person can do, but I was going to say, like, if you work with clients from like, in areas of clinical mental health areas, in this area of like anxiety, depression, stress, you got to look at lifestyle too.
Yeah.
How are your relationships? How are your support systems? Are you relying on yourself for everything? Are you taking time off to just take care of yourself? We don't look at those things. We're always compartmentalizing our lives, thinking that nothing relates to, things are not related to each other. But, things always are linked. Things are always linked. So It could be work. It could be your stress level at work. Maybe you need to set boundaries at work. Maybe you need to set boundaries with your kids.
I was going to say, you could be a mom.
You could be a mom.
Moms.
We take on everything.
I know. I was like, you have a mom brain. That's
mom brain. Exactly. The mom brain. Yeah, for sure.
They're worried about everybody. They take it all on.
We have aging parents. We have children, aging parents. This is an age where women have so much on their plate that you have to sit down and, even finding mental health care, sharing these things with a coach, someone who can help you sort through because the reason why people don't sleep, it's biological, but it's also lifestyle, and it's something in your life that you need to address.
Yeah. I agree. But a lot of people just want a pill. It's a lot of work to do all of that. When you look at things holistically, and sometimes people, for whatever reason, they don't want to go that direction.
It's the one pill. Like I keep thinking, and I keep hearing that, we have this pill for this disorder, and we have this other pill, and that brings up something that I know that I've been hearing from my clients. The fact that we go to the doctor, and even one of the first things now I see, and it's kind of shocking to me now that I'm learning more about, the psychological part of menopause and things like that, is that people go to the OB-GYN or they go to their doctor, and one of the first things that they prescribe is antidepressants.
Yeah. I have quite a few friends.
Yes. And it helps some people, but you're not really addressing a core issue. If you're on an antidepressant, you might as well be in therapy. I say that because I know it's been researched, and I know it helps some, but there's also something very particular about not producing estrogen, and the anxiety that comes from not producing estrogen.
Yeah.
So there's research on anxiety being specific to menopause, even in women that don't suffer from anxiety.
Yeah.
So,
I have 3 friends right now on that have been prescribed.
Yeah, even before HRT, because people still have stigma over HRT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, the main sort of go-to in terms of menopause is HRT, bioidentical hormones, antidepressants are used quite a bit, and gabapentin. These are all like things that doctors are using, but still, it's the one pill, we're going to solve it.
How do you feel about hormone replacement therapy?
So,
I know there's a lot there.
There's a lot.
There's also a lot of research that was it 2002,
the early one, the one that scared all women and doctors.
Scared everybody, and we're trying to recover from that. So in my practice, I used to be against them, and I'm starting to kind of open up. Yeah, I'm opening up to them for different reasons. Yeah. But I'm just curious how you feel about them.
I feel a little bit kind of the same way. Like when I wasn't suffering from, when I wasn't experiencing all these symptoms, sleeplessness, or my core being super warm, even when I'm not, exercising. In the middle of an interview.
You're like,
or whatever.
What's going on?
Yeah, all these things. I have to say that I've been managing them with exercise, but I have been considering looking into, and I started doing my own research on HRT and bioidentical hormones, which I hear it's like a very popular, kind of like has good feedback from some people that I've known that are on it. That, I mean, in the end, I keep thinking I don't want to medicate myself. That's me. That's my personal way of doing things. I like to do the natural things first. Try to change lifestyle. Yes. Be more intentional about everything. And if that doesn't work, then going with the medical side of things. Yeah. But then again, this is another menopausal different way of thinking once you enter menopause again, where you're more flexible with the way you think. I think that's an area that needs exploration. You become more flexible, and now because I'm more flexible in the way I think, I am considering
Yeah.
thinking HRT, why suffer?
Why suffer?
You know?
Well, and they are starting to show there are so many health benefits, the prevention of strokes and
Yes.
certain types of cancers, where I know that was a scare before, but they've also found that if you use estrogen with progesterone,
Yes.
then it lowers, well, it doesn't lower your risk of cervical cancer, but it doesn't give you the cervical cancer that they once thought that
Yes.
just estrogen.
Yeah, but I was going to say, yes, progesterone and estrogen, they're an interplay. They're an interplay there because one is the one is the defender and the other one is the driver.
Right.
So estrogen the driver, progesterone the defender. So but you have to look at your unique physiology.
Right.
Physiology.
Yes.
And you have to go to your doctor and they have to do all
Yes.
this with you.
Yes.
So, yeah, but I do agree.
But we've come so far.
Yes, we've come so far
Yeah.
in finding ways to treat. I'm just gonna say that overall, that the one pill wonder of menopause does not exist. You
Yeah.
really need to work individually
Yes.
with your doctor and your
Yes.
coach and your mental health.
And I like that holistically looking at your lifestyle is the number one step.
Yes,
The-
absolutely.
The number one. I do a lot of herbs, prescribe myself a lot of herbs. And so I think I've done a really good job at, managing some of the signs and symptoms, but sometimes sleep is still an issue. And weight, I have gained a little weight. And I don't mind.
We can talk about weight.
We can talk about weight. And I don't mind gaining a little weight. I just don't think that it should be 30 pounds. Right. So I have an issue with that piece. Like I don't need to be what I was when I was 25, which I've always weighed 128 to 130. That's my whole life until 2 years ago.
Yeah.
know?
That same here. Same.
Yeah.
So that's the part where like the research that Dr. Stacy Sims and like the whole like the podcast that I follow, Feisty Menopause, which is a great one.
Oh, I need to listen.
Yeah, I mean they're bringing in the experts, and this is like a very common sort of like either topic in that
I'm
podcast. But we know, based on the research, that we're gonna definitely gain weight, and because our cortisol basically the body has more inflammation because estrogen protects you, and now your body's producing more cortisol, right? So your stress is is not being managed by your hormones.
Right.
So what you have to be intentional about how you manage your stress. So what happens is that you enter this phase, and why was I saying that? Lost train of thought. See, this is one of the symptoms right here. Brain fog. So no, what I was going to say is like some of the interventions that for gain weight, and this is done, I've seen it over and over, is strength training, weight bearing exercises. Keep your cardio. Yeah, we love our cardio.
Yes.
We're triathletes, we're, endurance runners and cyclists, but we need to do heavy weight. She has this saying, it's called like lift heavy.
I love it.
I don't know.
love it.
Yeah, so
I lifted this morning.
you lifted. Yeah, good for you.
Yeah. I've been doing Svelte. Are you familiar with Svelte?
Yeah.
So I do Svelte. So it's a HIIT class.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know if it's lifting heavy.
No,
but
but
I do lift. But I did lift. I did a sculpting class today.
So that's part of it. It's like it's about not doing just like steady state cardio. It's about, if you're running, incorporate sprints.
Yeah.
If you're doing high intensity intervals and things like that, do them on the bike too. I'm on the trainer most of the time because I don't want to be out in the sun, and I'm doing intervals on my bike, hard intervals.
Yeah.
So if you can't get to weights, do sprints. He calls them sprints, but it's really like intervals.
Yeah.
Do hard sets.
I can't believe I'm going to say this on the podcast, but
What is it?
so Friday, speaking of intervals, I was running intervals, and I guess when you get older, your urgency to go to the restroom is
That's another one.
And I had to go to the restroom so bad. I had to stop in the middle of my workout and stand there till I can gather myself together and make it to the restroom. Like, I was like, I told my friend, I was like, really, this is where I'm at right now?
Yeah, that's true.
That's hard. And it's hard to accept when
Yeah.
stuff like that happens. And that was the first time that it's ever happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like,
Yeah. Yeah. So I remember my last two races. That's one of the reasons why I decided to postpone doing more long distance races because of the use of the bathroom.
yeah,
Towards the end of the race, it was like, this is unsustainable. I'm not having fun.
yeah.
So I say I need to either look at my nutrition better and my hydration, or need to do something about it. This is
Yeah.
not good.
So what do you, this is a little, it's still on the subject. It made me think of something. When I treat people, we sit down and we go through all of their paperwork and we'll talk for like 30 minutes. And one of the I see it as a problem because the older you get, the more you have to urinate. The more people have to urinate, the less they want to drink.
Right. Oh gosh. Yes.
And especially in weather like this.
Right. We are in one of the most warmer weathers in the country.
So I find that it's a big issue. People do not want to drink.
Right. And we are, it's a fact, and it's been shown in research that women, as you start getting older, you can get away with less, you cannot get away with going around dehydrated or not having enough electrolytes in your system.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that you mentioned that, because something that I keep coming across, and also research, and the research from Menopause, is that women might drink a lot of water throughout the day, but they don't take electrolytes. And I don't say sports drinks. I'm saying they're not eating enough fruits and vegetables, which is a main source of electrolytes.
Yeah.
All my friends that train with me, I know I have my friend Elena. She's in Italy right now training. I have all of them on taking electrolytes, eating, and like, no, you're taking water. No, you just need to more than water. You need to eat fruits and vegetables. You need to have your watermelon in the morning. You need to, because that's the salts and the good sugars. They're all in the fruit and vegetables.
Yeah.
Which takes me to another area that it became an issue when I was training, and now I'm doing a lot better on. It's eating real food during your races and your training.
Which I like that, because all the sugar is horrible.
In the sports drinks at this age, your intestines are not able to metabolize all that, and it becomes not a good experience during races.
Yeah.
So if you were having problems like that, GI issues based on all the on-course nutrition you were taking, or what you were grabbing, whatever, you were, I'm out the morning, I'm just going to grab this and keep going.
Yeah.
If you need to be intentional about what you eat and drink before, during, and after, like having some sort of protein 30 minutes after your weight training or strength training is important.
Really? Why?
Yes. Apparently muscle synthesis, like you have to, your muscles repair, they're in actual repair mode when 30 minutes after. And because we are, apparently estrogen has basically signals all organs in the body, including the muscles. Not having estrogen does not allow for your muscles to become, to repair after a heavy weight set, or like intervals or anything.
So that's
like
specifically for
perimenopausal and menopausal women. Yes, and this is on the next level book that I recommended. So there's so many things in terms of nutrition that you need to be serious about these things, and definitely intentional about not just drinking water, just also making sure you have salt, sodium, and you eat your fruits and vegetables, and you're eating your proteins and your carbs.
Yeah.
There's something very interesting that keeps coming up a lot of in the literature that I read from menopause. It's called low energy availability. And I think it's a term was coined by Dr. Stacey Steems as well.
I heard of that.
Women, perimenopausal and menopausal women that are active in training tend to be on the deficit of energy levels, because
I believe it.
They're not eating enough. And she wants people to eat enough for their level of activity you're doing.
So how do you feel about intermittent fasting for athletes?
So I've I've never tried during training. I've never tried intermittent fasting during, as long as I've been a triathlete. I don't have a specific say in it, or I don't feel any way, but I have read in some of the literature that it's not recommended for super active women in our age group.
Yeah.
Because
I believe that.
Because, again, not producing estrogen, having imbalances of hormonal imbalances, and how that affects the gut biome, how that affects your brain. I mean, we're talking about the whole system.
Yeah. Which I find the gut biome just fascinating. Yeah. And I have someone that might come onto the podcast and talk more about it, especially as you get older, just the wear and tear that we've abused our bodies, the stress that we go through. A lot of women, and I'm sure men too, have dysbiosis, and that's in turn affects you in a lot of different ways, especially being an athlete. I know when I do tons of sugars, if I do a lot of goos, when I'm done with the race, I am so bloated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have the same experience too.
Yeah.
I don't do those anymore. Right?
I don't either. So I like the real food.
Yeah, the real food, like me and my cycling partner, we carry prosciutto and Parmesan.
Well, that's fancy.
Yes, sandwiches or peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Pull them out of the pocket. People look at us like, "What the heck is that?" But we have real food with us.
Yeah.
There's Dr. Stacy always says, hydration in your bottle, food in your pocket. Mm-hmm. She doesn't. She has her own products and she promotes all these things, but she still says that having real food. It's better than just using goos and gels and things like that. And I can attest to that.
Yeah.
Because I started using them on gravel, like 4-hour plus gravel races.
Yeah.
And I've been able to.
Yeah. When I do the ultras, tend to pack a lot of goos just in case.
Yeah.
But I eat at the aid stations, and they always have peanut butter and jelly and bananas.
And your body, it settles better. It's just overall like your body metabolizes everything.
The best thing I had at Ironman was that chicken broth.
The chicken broth.
And mashed potatoes. Yeah. I think I had mashed potatoes too.
Like your body wanted real food.
Wanted real food, and it was warm, and it felt good on my stomach, and it was just amazing. It was the best chicken broth.
And I don't think, do they still have chicken broth or beef broth in races anymore? I don't even know.
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've done a triathlon. I've just been running.
But I miss that.
When I was in Catalina, me and a friend did a 50K on Catalina Island. Yeah. And one of the last aid stations, they had real food, and they had they had the spread. It was shrimp and steak and potatoes. And they had every meat you could possibly, chicken, fajitas.
Your body wants that. Your body needs that. And especially now, it's like, your body forgives you when you're younger, when you're training hard, but when you're older, it's definitely, you have to understand that it's where the calories are. It's meant to, the density and the shape and the texture of food has its processes in the body, the way they go through the stomach and the intestines.
And then they put salt all over the potatoes, where you get some sodium.
Yeah, you get salt. Carry your own the mini potatoes. You boil them and you salt them and you put them in Ziploc bags and have that as I read that in a book, and then I saw someone do it, and it's like, perfect.
It's perfect. Perfect little snack. Well, it was funny when you were talking about the prosciutto and the Parmesan.
That's my friend from Italy.
Before you said sandwich. I thought that you guys were having like a little picnic.
Like a picnic stop. Okay, second. We came out with the prosciutto. No. It's sandwiches. She taught me that she brings good quality prosciutto and Parmesan cheese, makes sandwiches with that, and that's what she brings. It's delicious. Like it.
I'm going to try it.
Yes.
I'm going to try
it. Amazing.
Oh, that was too funny. So what else?
So I brought me, I brought a lot of information, but I want to just say that one thing that for me, the takeaway in dealing with symptoms and dealing with changing lifestyle or adding new things to your life that allow you to manage, going through this phase of, and being an active woman, is self-compassion. and kindness to
so important.
yourself. I say it we've mentioned a couple of things here already that are examples of that. Like when you are more flexible with your plans, that's self-care, that's self-compassion.
Yeah.
When you are...
And you say flexible with your plans, like if you go do a race and then something happens that you have the flexibility to say, it's okay. Mm-hmm. I don't need to push myself. Is that
yeah, that's
what you mean by flexibility?
Exactly. Like this decision making on the spot that benefits you and your well-being. And at this stage, I find that I don't have less regrets as to how I changed my plans last minute sometimes. Mm-hmm. Racing is one of them. You mentioned your experience at Azores. Keeping an open mind, open to experience.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. So open to experience could be anything from, for example, sounds funny. I went to Waco 70.3. I got a DNF and I was like feeling down, but then saw Andy Potts. And then Andy Potts, the pro, the former pro. I don't know if I think he's still a pro.
Is he still a pro?
And I started having a conversation, and I had a full conversation with him and asked him, and it was great meeting him. And it's like, I would not have met and have a long conversation with him if I would not have been DNF. And there was no one there. It was pretty empty.
The silver linings.
The silver lining. So that's kind of like a very light example, but just being able to, for example, say no to things that are not providing that peace of mind, setting boundaries with other people, husbands, children, parents, and try to live your life based on values. So we do a lot of value exploration with clients.
I like that.
What's important to you? What do you see? We set goals, but it's not all goals, because we want to make sure that before setting goals, we're also addressing values, needs. I don't know if you ever heard about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, basic needs.
Yeah, I do.
It's been around for ages. And it's really good. A good example, if anyone wants to look it up. It's a triangle. Yeah. The base is like your basic needs: food, shelter, water. The second layer is security, safety things, predictability in your life, safety, that type of thing. And then it goes on all the way to the top, which is self-actualization, which is when you're allowed to grow as a person. You push yourself to learn things and things like that. Mm-hmm. But it's hard to jump from surviving here at the bottom. If you're working on a survival mode, if you're working, you have kids, you have elderly parents, you have a job, you have a business, and you're also training, and you're not taking care of these first couple layers, the body's going to keep the score. And at this age, it's going to definitely be showing you what that looks like. Yeah. Immunity, lower immunity, getting absolutely sick. Yeah. So I got really sick last fall because I wasn't paying attention to how stressed I was, and got severely sick. And that kind of was like, whoa, this is like, I need to really, really look at what I'm doing, what I'm allowing, and what. Yeah. But it starts with values exploration. Yeah. And I think, the goal is to have fun and to stay active. And I kind of lost my train of thought too. See, this is another sentence. This is the real deal right here. This is the real deal. I know what I was going to say. A lot of the times people, they think that they're being active and they're managing their stress when they're not taking care of the root cause of things that are really happening, things that are really going on in their life. And then they use exercise as an outlet, which is good, but it's also good to address the underlying things that are happening in your life and managing those so you can move forward and prosper as an athlete and not have it work against you. That was beautifully said. I see people that I've been either coaching or like with clients that I have now, and you see a lot of women that are in this phase that are perfectionistic and they're overachievers. And they're not realizing that they're putting so much more stress, that the answer is not just going and signing up for another race or keeping that train going. there is sometimes it's like we were talking about earlier. It's a time for reflection. Maybe if I got a DNF, let me just reflect on how much I want to do this, and not proceed on an automatic fashion
Right.
to the next step.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity. This is part of the gains of menopause. You can stop and reflect. Learn to rest. Don't quit. Just take a break.
Yeah.
Reflect. Journal. You can journal. You can read. You can. Before you take the next step, because your body's asking for it now. Yeah. I see that a lot. I see women and because they want to keep either a certain weight or a certain physique, not really keeping in mind that it's also producing cortisol.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to give your body enough pause and break as well.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. And I think one of the foundational skills to develop is that self-awareness and reflection.
Yeah.
To be really present with yourself and to ask good questions, because you might find some pretty cool things in there.
Yeah, you for sure will.
You might find some things you don't want to see, but you might find some really cool things too. And I think a lot of people, they don't stop.
Right, exactly.
And they're not present.
Right. We know that. We know people are not ready. Sometimes they're not ready to stop and face it.
Yeah.
It is also daunting in the sense that you are being forced to kind of face your own fears and your own insecurities, and that's not easy. So
yeah.
But continue to grow your support system for sure.
Yeah, I think connection, your support system, all of that's super, super important. Well, this has been great. I feel like I have more questions for you. Oh, so somebody told me, and it was the first time I'd heard it, that exercise was great for managing hot flashes. Do you know anything about that?
I know for my own experience and based on some of the information I've read again in the book the Next Level book, is that because we lose our ability to thermoregulate through the whole, menopausal phase, we are supposed to do things that, I guess, externally, help us feel like, how some people do sauna training, to do that for acclimation. So that apparently is a way for you to tell your body, to trick your body into thinking that you could, to not become as warm as normal. But yes, exercise helps with hot flashes, generally speaking. I mean, apparently, what I've read. But mostly because of the effect where you kind of like making it warm outside of its own natural way. So, I hear it's work. It's like, it's a little hack. It's like the same with ice. Like they say, like ice for anxiety or for.
Interesting. I haven't heard ice for anxiety.
Yeah.
So I don't, usually when I hear ice, I shut down.
Yeah.
Because in Chinese medicine, we don't use cold. We don't use anything cold.
So that's one of the reasons, because apparently it works on your parasympathetic nervous system. And when you dunk your face in ice cold, it's like telling you to stop. It just stops.
Interrupts.
It's like the freeze. Not the freeze, the fight or flight. It does something in the reptilian part of the brain.
Interesting. I might have to. I don't like cold. But.
Yeah, I don't like cold either. But heat and cold are both interventions within menopause to work with thermoregulation issues.
Interesting. Maybe I'll have to get in the sauna.
Yeah, I was looking and I was reading about it, and I got an ad. Immediately you start receiving ads as soon as you mention something. And I started receiving an ad for a little inflatable little tub.
I've seen them
for like with ice. Let me send it to all these menopausal women. I'll target all of them.
That's so funny.
And they show a guy dunking in there. It's like, okay.
Interesting.
Anyway, very
they have little saunas too.
Yeah.
That you can kind of squat in, and
It's just hard to think about saunas when you're in Houston.
I know, and it's like 100 degrees right now.
Yeah. If I was in in a cold place, I would consider it, but no way here. It's just, I go outside.
Ice is probably better for us.
Yeah, ice is better.
Well, what advice would you have for a perimenopausal or menopausal athlete listening to us right now in that place where they've lost some motivation? They're kind of beating themselves up, being hard on themselves, because they're not where they used to be. So it's like mentally they want to be there, but the motivation is not there. So what would you tell this person if she's listening right now?
Okay, so many things, but I'm going to try to start with the basics. I would suggest you start monitoring how you feel throughout the day, and start jotting down things you want to accomplish in the next few months. Like start adding goals, and then take it back and look at your values and what is it that you want to do. What would you like to improve in your current life? So specifically, I say values because, for example, I am about to be an empty nester, and I'm thinking I want to be active beyond my, beyond in the next 5 years. If I want to move and continue to be active, I want to move around. I want to continue to hike. I want to continue to do things, not just for the way I look, but I want to continue to improve mobility, and all these other things, mobility, stronger bones, etc. So I keep thinking that's my goal, but then I go back, okay, so what can I do now? What interventions I can do now to address those? And then once you start thinking there, you start thinking, okay, so I don't have time to go to the gym. So what am I going to do now that I can't? Let me look at my support system. So start sort of a decision. I work with people, and sometimes we do decision trees. Decision trees based on values. So you start listing your values, then start adding like branches of, okay, so this is going to take me here and there. So
sounds kind of like mind mapping.
Yeah, it's like, kind of mind mapping. And you can do this on a wall, or you can do it and you can record on your phone. But I think it's important to know where we're going.
Yeah. So important.
Yeah, because otherwise we're just in a rat race. And for women especially, we're indoctrinated to think like we need to produce and we need to be producing something or raising kids or doing this, and we don't ever find time to just look at ourselves and what we want for sure, and we want to stop that. This is an opportunity, an invitation to become better and happier, removing resentment in your life, removing things that are not working out, saying no more often. So an exploration of values is very important as the very root of moving forward with whatever changes you want to make. And self-acceptance, because
that's a big one.
Yeah, because your body's changing.
Yeah.
And we're looking into the future, and you're looking forward. It's like, oh, chronic disease, oh, this and that. And we're thinking about illness, and it's hard to, these are hard things to think through. But if you do an exploration of your values, it'll help you maybe or perhaps see some strengths you bring to this phase. And I'm trying to use my strengths and the client's strengths to move forward.
It's almost like a time to reinvent yourself almost.
Yeah. It's a time of evolution as a person.
Like
that exploration must be done before you get on to the next project.
Yeah. No, I really like that. I talk a lot about that when I do wellness coaching. Where do you want to go? What are your values? And where do you see yourself in 5 years? Right? What do you want to be doing? How do you see your health? What kind of activity do you want to be doing? And I find it super powerful. So I love all of that. I think it's amazing. I think it's really cool that you are incorporating that with your athletes. I think that's a whole nother level of coaching. I really do, because a lot of coaches don't approach training like that. So I think that's super cool, and that you're doing that. And I can't imagine somebody not wanting to work with you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, do you have any last thoughts?
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course, you got to come back.
Yeah, this is always a pleasure. I love that we're sharing, comparing notes and sharing anecdotes, and how we're kind of going through similar things in a different way. But I just, I feel like a lot of people are just so hard on themselves during this phase. And a lot of times we're alone. Isolation is not a good thing.
And I think it's great that we're talking about it, and that it's in the forefront of, a lot of people's minds. Like I said, you're reading more articles about it. You're seeing more studies being done on it. because I think a lot of women don't talk about it because they think that it's a natural process and this is just the way that things are. And it doesn't have, that's my question. How far can we push that boundary? Does it really have to be like this? Because I know it doesn't. But how far can we push that boundary and say, we might not go back to 20, but how good can we feel at this age, right? And moving forward and staying motivated and engaged and all of those things. So I know we don't know that yet, but I think it's really cool that we're talking about it. And if somebody hears it and they are experiencing some of those things, that they know that they're not alone.
You're not alone. So normalizing it and by sharing your story, it's very important.
Yeah. Just like I shared with my friend when we were running, I was like, is this it? Is this it? I can't move right now. I've got to go to the bathroom right in the middle of a workout, know? But then I started talking about it and she's like, oh, I wonder if that's what's going on with me.
Yeah, we're not alone.
Yeah. So,
awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. This has been enlightening.
Before we go, I just wanted to tell you that I'm looking at Ottolo.
Oh, yeah. Ottolo. Oh, I remember.
Remember us talking about it? Ottolo is a swim run in Sweden. The one, it's a lake. I prefer lakes.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it.
It's cold. It's very cold, but you like cold.
No, I don't like cold.
No, you're right. That's why you live in Houston.
But it would be fun just to, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, no, I checked it out when you mentioned it. Yeah, a couple of times. It's like, it's one of those things like finding the motivation to do. That's challenging. I mean, that's not a short,
Well, I would do the shorter, not the sprint, but the one right before I don't know what they don't call it the Olympic, but it's the longest distance, which is like 26 miles. This one's like 12 or something, I think.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
I'll
sometimes the buddy system works too.
Yeah, no, for sure. Oh my gosh. Having the relays are my favorite thing. Yes. I would say every time I race with a group of people that I can just laugh with, that makes a whole difference. The huge difference.
Yeah. And sometimes I think too, that's what you need is just to have fun with something that you used to do, right? Instead of putting so much pressure on you to do a race that maybe, or a big race, you're like, hey, I'm going to go do this relay and I'm just going to have fun.
Exactly. So taking the time and the breaks to do that kind of stuff, it's important. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, well, that was it. What did you think? Thank you so much for tuning in to this insightful episode. Today, we explored the impact of menopause on women athletes and fitness enthusiasts. Istra Bauza shared her unique coaching approach to gracefully navigate this life transition and perform at your best. We discussed lifestyle modification, stress management, and the importance of self-awareness and self-compassion. So whether you are an athlete or not, these insights can help you embrace life's transition with grace and grit. And I'll leave you with this. Stay curious and motivated as you pursue your wellness goals. Join me next time for more empowering discussions. Thanks for listening. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to the podcast and share with your family and friends. You can also give me a rating and review wherever you listen to your podcast. It helps others find me as well. To get updates on new episodes and wellness inspiration in your inbox, please join the Wellness Inspired community. Go to thewellnessinspiredpodcast.com to sign up. I'll put the link to the website in the show notes so you can click and join. Also, there's a Facebook community at The Wellness Inspired, and you can follow me on Instagram at wellness_inspired. If you're in the Houston area or just visiting and interested in our services, acupuncture, herbal medicine, cupping, zen shiatsu, or dry needling therapy, contact us. You can find out more on our website at element5om.com. That's element5om.com. And again, I'll put the link in the show notes. If you're interested in health and wellness coaching, we can connect in the clinic or on Zoom. Reach out to us and we'll get you on the schedule. And as always, I would love to hear your feedback. I am dedicated to bringing you great content that is inspiring and informative with an artsy, fun, edgy spin. Thank you so much for listening. We'll meet here again next time. And remember, never stop exploring, learning, loving, and being you. Bye.